Do you find yourself feeling perpetually obligated and having to do things that you don't want to do all the time? Well, learn how to get your time back and learn how to say no so that you have the time needed to do the things that you want to do. On today's show, we're going to teach you how to get your time back and how to avoid obligations by learning how to have those occasional tough conversations.
Grab the duct tape and mentally prepare yourself for yet another mind-expanding knowledge bomb from America's #1 business coach, Clay Clark.
Bombs away.
Z, today's show is going to be an incredible show, a show that's going to get increasingly over the line. It starts off way behind the line, but then it goes over the line, Paul. So, Paul, we're going to start off. It's going to be in a spot where we are definitely not over the line to start, but it's going to get increasingly worse throughout the show.
Nice.
And I would like to see, Z, if you could one-up me at the end if possible.
Are we going to have fisticuffs? Do we actually have a...
Well,
it's always fun when we get into like a brawl.
Well, the show is about Obligation 101.
Okay.
And how it always starts with a yes. All right? So let's picture the scenario. All of us have gone to college or maybe to a camp or some place where you've had a roommate for some period of time, maybe family visiting. You know, see how it is. Someone's visiting. Paul, can you imagine? Did you go to college? You went to OSU, right?
Correct.
Did you have a roommate for a while?
Yes.
Okay, so this is how it starts. Tell me if I'm wrong, Z. You have a roommate,
All right,
and you're
roommate,
reading an
check.
interesting book.
Okay, check.
Maybe a book that you've had that's priceless. Maybe your copy of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, or Think and Grow Rich, or whatever your favorite book is. And the roommate says, can I borrow that book? Now, a powerful entrepreneur who's good at setting up boundaries, you would say what today, Z? If some guy asked if they could borrow a copy of a book that's prized by you and your family, Z, as a 54-year-old grown man entrepreneur, what would you say if somebody wanted to borrow a book of yours that you didn't want to let them borrow?
I would say, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to purchase said book for you.
See, we haven't talked about that at all, but I knew you would say that, and that's what I would do too.
Right.
But why would you not let someone borrow the book?
Because you know you're never going to get it back.
And then you have to call them back and say, can I have the book back?
And they don't even know where they put it because they could give a crap about the book.
And then they say stupid stuff like, hey, could you remind me to get that back to you?
Oh, yeah.
You know
I'm
what I'm
sorry.
saying?
You should have reminded me before I came over
Now,
today.
Paul, I'm not asking you to put someone on blast to mention a specific person, but can you think of a scenario in the not-so-distant past where somebody said, hey, could you remind me to remember you to remind me about that? Because that's something that like they have put an obligation on your schedule as a result of them asking for you, and somehow it ended in you as a 50-year-old successful entrepreneur, them saying, could you remind me?
Yeah, I'm supposed to track that for him. You know, and it doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter if it's a friend. I've got my oldest son, who's a superstar. Half of my stuff's in his garage, and, you know, and he forgets that he's got it. Oh, where is my four-wheel dolly? Oh, well, I've got a four-wheel dolly over in the corner. His just happens to look a lot like mine.
Oh,
and mine's missing.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he'll let you borrow his.
Now, I've always been this way for the longest time, so it hasn't ever been really hard for me. But I find with some of my coaching clients, they'll say, Clay, how do you avoid obligations? And I'm going, well, one, you say no. Now, my default in college, someone says, can I borrow your book? I say no. I don't even think about it.
Wait a second. Let's first of all define obligation, because I think you're thinking...
Obligation is where you now have something on your schedule that you didn't put there, or something on your to-do list that you didn't put there, but somebody else puts it on your schedule. So the idea of like, hey, can I borrow your book? You go,
At what point, though, does it become an obligation?
Because they say...
you're not obligated to loan them your book. You're not obligated.
But then they say, could you remind me to bring it back?
What?
Now all of a sudden you're obligated. It's just that it's weird. But somebody who just I see this all the time. Now let's escalate it next level.
Okay.
In college, I never seemed to understand this idea. But I went to Oral Roberts University.
Right.
And other men would say, hey, Z, can I borrow your shirt? And I would watch guys get mad at each other. I'm serious. Because I'm like, you let a guy borrow your suit? And they're like, well, yeah, we're about the same size, and he needed one, and he asked me, and I said, yeah. And I'm like, well, you going to get it back? And they said, well, he's had it for 2 months. At this point, it's almost like it's his.
Z, I don't know where he went to college, but I never had anybody ask me to borrow my clothes.
I was so poor. Nobody didn't
they didn't want my stuff.
I know. Yeah, you're going to wear that again?
They were offering me clothes.
How about this? Can I borrow $100? You see people like that. Z, hey, can I borrow $50?
Oh, sure.
Can I borrow $100? And you know you're just going to give it to somebody because you're not going to get it back.
Exactly.
I had a guy that I went to school with that his move was we'd go to McDonald's and he'd say, Paul, I would buy, but all I got is this $100 bill. And, they won't break a $100 bill. So I bought his meal all the time. He had a $100 bill in his pocket.
I know, yeah. You could make change for it. But,
yeah.
But I mean, think about it is that what we're really going to talk about today, in my mind, is
yes.
How do you keep suggestions or things that people want to make your obligation become your obligation? Because an obligation is a commitment. I mean, you're committed to doing said thing. Now, it's up to you whether you want to make that an obligation.
I think people feel obligated to say yes to everything.
And you know what? I can't argue against it. I see it all the time, and it just spins their schedule. They don't get anything done. They're always busy doing other people's biddings, and then all of a sudden they look around, half their stuff's in their son's garage. I mean, it is a thing.
So we start off with borrowing a book. I think maybe that's not that bad of a thing. So that's not over the line. That's not crazy.
No, that's
It's
that's
just
all
a
right.
little book.
Can I borrow a shirt? You might go, that's a little crazy.
Well, no, they're the son. They're the same size.
Okay, we go up another level.
Yeah.
This is where somebody says, do you mind if I come over for the weekend? Now let's think about this. There's family. Everyone out there knows you have family members
Yes.
who you do not want them ever coming over for more than an hour or two. And even then, you're like, you got to go.
Full disclosure, if any of them are listening to this show right now, I want you all to come over.
You know what I'm saying, though. There are family members who are, Zeke.
Well, of course.
And they'll say, can I come over for the weekend?
No.
But what makes most people feel they have to say, do you mind if I live with you for a couple weeks? There's people that say that stuff. To you and me, they say it.
Yeah.
How do you feel bad when you say no, Z?
Nowadays, no. I do not feel bad.
I do not feel bad.
But it was a process at first. I mean, we all drank the Kool-Aid.
I was in the Kool-Aid.
And we grew up here in the Bible Belt. We grew up in the Midwest, and it's about being nice. I mean, you spent some time up in Minnesota with Fionn and all the guys up there ice fishing. Yes. Oh. But my point is that we kind of grown to be nice. You're taught be nice to people,
nice.
and I preach that too. Be nice to people, but
let
there's
people
a difference.
borrow your shirt.
There's a difference in being nice to somebody and then also feeling like you're obligated to do whatever they ask you to do.
But they almost. That's how I perceive it now because I'm closer to 40. I'm 38 years old. Guys will say. Family members will say, can I come over for the weekend? Now, my immediate default, without even thinking about it, no matter who it is, I go, nope. I mean, I have to go, no. And then Vanessa will go, this is a person we like a lot. Okay. No. I mean, I just go back naturally to no.
Well, Clay, I think a lot of people, you have to have an accountability partner. Whether you're going to go do something bad yourself or what. And so a lot of us guys, we're a lot of yes guys, but then you get married. And then what happens is you got to answer to her.
Oh, yeah.
And so your buddies from college want to come over and they're sleeping on your couch. Guess who gets the butt chewing? And so, that makes it a lot easier. But, when you're single, I think it's a lot easier to say yes.
I think
you might be right.
Let's take it up another level, okay? All right.
Let's go put in there.
So let's say, but again, family, maybe it's easy for you to say no to family coming over. Somebody at your office says, can I borrow the company credit card? Can I borrow the card? Zeke, can I use the card to get some Domino's for all the staff? Hey, can I get this? An employee says, is there any way I can get a standing desk, maybe a new chair? Can I get a new this? It never ends, does it?
When you own a business, that means that the money from that business is coming out of your pocket one way or another, okay? If it's your business you own, whether it gets into your pocket first or not, it's coming from your pocket, okay? And I'm going to give you a little, for those of you out there that don't have your own business yet, but you're working towards getting one, for those of you that have your own business, know this fact. Everybody that works for you loves to spend your money.
They do.
Yes.
They love it.
And they love to spend it in a way that makes them look good.
Right.
It's amazing.
But it never ends. There's no end to it.
No, because who doesn't like to look good, Clay? Come on. Don't you like to look good?
Okay, let me go next. Now, this is where we start to go over the line.
Uh-oh.
A guy might say to you, this happens to me a lot. It stopped shockingly since this radio show.
Okay.
But before the radio show, it wouldn't stop. Guys would go,
I'm
here's the
dying
deal.
to hear.
A group of us are going to South America
Okay.
to do missions work.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
In the jungle.
We're
going to go down there.
An honorable thing.
And we're going to go down there, and it's a men's group. We're going down there for the weekend.
Okay.
And we would like for you to go. And I would say, I appreciate the invite and the thought.
Yes.
Not going to do it, though. And they're like, Clay, you'd love it. And I'm like, no. See, here's the deal. I respect you, but I get claustrophobia on planes. Don't really do well with air traffic, speed, air travel, heights, water, jungles. Different languages, humidity. I'm not a big fan of just doing missions work in general. So, no.
Thanks, but
no thanks.
No thanks.
But then there's certain people that cannot stop asking. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, well, Clay, don't you want to leave a legacy? And then
Don't you
Now,
care?
this is my response to that. I always say, John D. Rockefeller, world's wealthiest man in the world, what did he do? And usually they'll go, didn't he do something with oil? I'm like, that's the point. The world's wealthiest man ever. How great was his legacy? We still don't know what he did 3 generations after he's dead. What did your great-grandfather do? I just want to have a blasty blast while I'm here, make sure my kids remember my name. I'm dead. I don't want to run around.
They will remember your name.
I don't want to go down to the Amazon to leave a legacy for Mugwai and people that I might not ever meet in person again. I don't want to do it.
Hey, Mugwai's a great guy.
He's a great guy. But I'm saying is, like, I'd rather give money to the man who's on the late night commercials for $10 a day. You can feed a kid. I'd rather do that move. But I do not feel called to go there. So no. But then they go, well, but is there any? And they won't stop.
Hey, you can give me $10 a day, and I'll promise you this: I will spend it on a breakfast platter for myself.
But see, how does somebody out there say no to something that's a great cause? It's men's group, it's Christian, it's helping the lost, it's helping people, it's feeding people. All these, it checks all the boxes. Paul, how do you say no when it's something that's like a really good cause, and you kind of want to cave after like the fourth ask? But how do you say no?
Well, Clay, we've talked a lot about being very intentional with success and with what we do, whether it's with our family, with our finances, or our fitness, or whatever. And so for me, I just see, does this fit in my lane? And if it doesn't fit in my lane, it's an easy no. And then I'll write a check, because God, I believe God's given each of us an ability, a talent, and we have to bring that talent to bear. My talent is not, going out into the jungle. My talent is creating wealth so I can provide funds for the people that are out in the jungle. So don't you think? I mean, if people that drift, that aren't focused, aren't whatever, get serious about things, they're easy yeses. They're just yes to everything.
I just feel like everybody those Z's should do missions work in South America one time. No, I don't agree with you. I'm not gonna. There's people that's what they feel. That's because it's their calling. They feel it's your calling. So you know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about, and there's something about that is. I don't know what the word I'm trying to. You may come to me, but here in a second. But it's like when someone gets really passionate about whatever it is. I mean,
Arena
going
League
green,
football.
electric cars, missions in South America. You can
recycling diapers,
or having diapers that don't need to be recycled, or whatever their mission is in life.
Yes,
and they take it upon themselves to try to gather up as many people, try to indoctrinate as many people. You please drink my Kool-Aid.
You have to convert.
Kool-Aid. And instead of fighting the tribe of people that already drank the Kool-Aid and care about that, they want everybody else to care passionately about their thing.
Now I'm going to go over the line, and I'm sorry.
Oh no,
I'm sorry.
No,
but I have to swing for the fences on this one.
Oh, here we go. I apologize up front.
I know people that I went to school with who are now swingers.
Swingers.
Is this slingers?
Like
as
they
watch
play
TV?
co-ed softball?
They swap wipes.
Co-ed softball?
They swap the wives. They swap the wives.
Oh yes, I was just doing. I was doing a funny on that show now. The TV one with the slingers. The TV program.
I know people.
Yeah.
I went to a Christian school who swap wives.
That's okay.
And the thing is, they're aggressive. No, listen. Okay. No, but they're just. They cannot get off the idea that you don't share that worldview. I know people who are buddies of mine, went to school with, who've changed everything about their values because the rest of the world is going that way too. I know people that have just totally. You would have met them 20 years ago, and you would say, "Wow, I can't even believe you're the same person."
Yeah.
But when you ask them why they made these changes, because usually they come back to me afterwards and are like, "Okay, lost my family, lost my soul. Could you help?" I get a lot of that.
Sure.
And I ask, well, how did you get that far off? I mean,
how did the train jump the track?
How did you get that far off? And they're like, well, got asked out by that kind of creepy couple. And we said yes a few times. And then, I'm serious.
Who does it like a hot tub party?
I'm serious. And I'm like,
creepy
how
couple.
do you? They're like, well, we just kind of felt obligated. I feel obligated to become a swinger? Come on, what do you mean? But I'm serious. People talk about this obligation. It's like people do what the average thing is that everyone around them's doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's that obligation thing. It's like, okay, if you are living, in the far rural regions of Oklahoma, at some point you might think to yourself, I got to put a bus on my lawn and let a tree grow through it.
Well, sure. Come on. That's just entertainment.
I might need to watch Dukes of Hazzard reruns.
I mean, hey,
you just
come
feel
on.
this pull. See, talk to me about how do you say no to this feeling of obligation towards doing immoral things, poverty-causing things, stupid things, when that is the environment you're in?
Your peer group and the people that you surround yourself, that's what we talk about on this show, that you can take the 5 people around you.
Yep.
And that's who you are. They're a representation. You're a piece of each of those 5 people, if you will. And so you have to be very, very careful who you let into that inner circle, because when you let the creepy couple into the inner circle, pretty soon you are the creepy couple. That's just the way life. That's just the way life works. And so you've got to guard yourself on who you allow into your life, who you allow into your inner circle. Who do you hang out with? Who do you spend time with? Who has influence on you? Because if whoever has influence on you, here's a saying I used to tell all the time: if you run with the dogs, you will get fleas. And so one day, if you get up and you go, "My gosh, I got fleas all over me. Why? How did that happen?" Well, you shouldn't have been running with the dogs. Now, we're all smart enough to know that, hey, if everybody took an accurate assessment of the people that are the 5 closest to them right now, I would guarantee you that each of you would say there's probably one, maybe more, that you might say, you know what, they aren't the best. When I'm around that person, I'm drinking too much, or they encourage me to do things that I really shouldn't do, but they're my good friend, and it seems harmless at the time, and I'm going to, want to hang out.
We just huff glue harmlessly together. It's not that big of a...
It's Elmer's. Come on, it can't be too bad.
Come on.
Come on. But the point is that peer group has such a pull on us.
Yes.
I've seen studies now. Here's the craziest thing. They did a study back in elementary school of some kids, and the teacher drew 2 lines on the board. One was obviously longer than the other. And she tells the class, and they're all kind of in on it, except a few of them, which of these lines are longer? And almost all the kids pick the shorter line. Well, the ones that kind of looking around all of a sudden realize that's not right, but they go along with the crowd.
There we go.
And their hands go up also. And next thing you know, everybody's together in the same lie, that is, which line is longer.
So here is the lie right now. Financially, most people, financially speaking, are in a bad spot. The average American has less than $400 saved, according to Forbes.
Yeah.
Paul, if somebody out there finds themselves drifting financially, you've got a hot deal going right now.
We do have a hot deal.
Share with the listeners the hot deal.
Yeah, we give an hour of our time free. One of myself or one of my staff, and you come in, and we'll help you. You'll figure out where you're at today, where you want to go. We give you a copy of Warren Buffett's The Snowball book.
Yeah.
And then it's free of charge. Just see where you want to go, and actually have a coach that can help you get there.
But it's going to be crazy stuff. Paul's going to talk about automating your savings.
Yeah.
Reducing your expenses.
Saving before you spend.
That sounds kind of creepy.
He's going to talk about all these foreign concepts that are right, but because 75% of employees steal from the workplace, according to the U.S. Chamber, 85% of people lie on their resumes, according to Inc. magazine, 9 out of 10 businesses fail, according to Forbes. It's not going to feel normal, because normal is jackassery.
That is.
And so it's abnormal to have success, and Paul's team is going to help you be your best financially. But if you're out there today and you feel this obligation to let somebody borrow your book, let somebody borrow your shirt, let family come over that you don't want to come over, letting people borrow the company credit card or money that you don't need to lend money to, join men's groups, these sorts of things that you don't want to be a part of, just ask yourself why. Take a moment and just say, why do I even feel pressure to do this? Because if not, you might end up becoming a swinger.
A swinger.
Oh, gosh.
Not a swinger. A swinger.
I had no idea at the start of this show that's where we were headed.
I didn't know either, but I'm just
we are by no means promoting becoming a swinger.
No, it's a slippery slope. I'm
It
telling
is.
you, first thing you know, a guy's like,
don't go there.
Can I sleep with your wife? Next thing you know, you're like, well, no, but
okay.
maybe. All right. And now, without any further ado, don't watch Indecent Proposal. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, boom! Dr. Breck, I got to ask you this. You are a chiropractor and a business owner.
I am.
But have you ever found yourself needing an attorney?
I have.
And for what kinds of situations?
Contracts and different, I'm trying to think, Mostly, yeah. I haven't really had any.
What about trademarks or patents or copywriting something?
No, I'd like to say yes, but no.
What about negotiating leases?
Yes.
What about an employee who filed for unemployment, or maybe somebody you had to let go, or somebody who you ever had like a litigation you've had to deal with?
No, thankfully not.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Jason, you've been involved with the Elephant in the Room Men's Grooming Lounge.
I have.
And now you coach clients.
True.
You used to manage all 3 stores, managing close to 4,000 members.
Oh, yeah.
And dozens of employees, and you now coach clients. You're in our morning coaches meetings.
Right.
How often do our clients have legal questions?
Oh, they have legal questions every single day.
Well, here's what I have found. I've been self-employed since I was since I was 16 years old. So I've been now self-employed for 22 years. Mm-hmm. And there is not a week that goes by that I don't have some sort of legal situation. Usually it's copywriting something, it's protecting something, it's drawing up a contract, it's buying a piece of real estate, it's dealing with a wrongful termination, it's dealing with purchasing a company, selling a company. It's always something that I need a lawyer for.
Right.
And the worst possible time to be looking for an attorney is when you need one.
Right.
When you're trying to flip a house and you have an offer right now that has to close today,
right.
You don't want to be looking for an attorney to look over that agreement. You don't want to be looking for an attorney when you're trying to sign that lease. You don't want to be looking for an attorney when you have to buy somebody out or fire somebody. You don't want to be looking for an attorney when you are looking for the answers.
Right.
So what I would encourage everybody to do today is to be proactive and find an attorney out there that you can trust. Now, we have a great attorney based in Dallas, Texas, who's elected to be a sponsor of this show by the name of Scott Reeb. That's R-E-I-B, Scott Reeb. And his company, Reeb Law, they offer a program called the iLegal Coaching. Let me just share with you what's included in this program that is available for as little as $11 per day.
Yeah.
$11 a day. Unlimited phone access to the legal coaching team. Mm-hmm. So if you have a question, you call, unlimited access. Unlimited text messages back and forth with the legal team.
That's great.
You get contract coaching, contract design, a 60-minute session with an iLegal coach, an annual strategic legal planning session, a VIP ticket to the legal workshop, VIP document vault, a custom design of your corporate structure, monthly VIP check-in call with a legal coaching team, online access to the legal platform. All of this is available for just $11 a day.
That's a lot.
Now, I'd be lying to you if I said that I used this company.
Okay.
I use Wes Carter and the company Winters King. It's wintersking.com. The reason why I use Winters & King is Winters & King represents T.D. Jakes. They've represented Donald Trump Jr. They've represented Joel Osteen, Joyce Meyer, and huge corporations. And I have a lot going on in my life, and I need an attorney that's super well connected into the literary space, and I need somebody who understands media and the complexities of what I do.
Right.
That's why I use Winters & King, and that's why I've used Wes Carter for years. So I would really, unless Wes Carter, something happened where he was no longer there, I would never leave Winters & King. They do a great job with me. But if I was looking for an attorney today, and I didn't know where to go, and I'm on a tight budget, and I know a lot of entrepreneurs are, I would definitely check out the good folks over here at Reeb Law. Check these guys out today, and check out their iLegal coaching package. Objectively, Dr. Breck, do you think that that makes a lot of sense to have a plan like that?
Well, yeah. I mean, you've got the immediate access, and you've got it at a very reasonable price. Because you're going to be paying by the hour for every little subject that comes up all the time. And here you've got somebody on speed dial. I mean, you've got instant access guaranteed in several different platforms: text, call, online. You've got documents. You listed off a number of things there. And all at a very reasonable price. So
check him out today at Reeb Law. It's REIB law.com, REIB law.com. The phone number is 940-591-0600, 940-591-0600. Tell them that Clay Clark sent you, and then they'll probably get a little bit frustrated that the lead came from me, because they know if they get a lead from me, it's an entrepreneur who's got a lot going on,
There's gonna be a lot
and
of
an
questions.
entrepreneur who's going to use the heck out of this program. I'll tell you, no, in all sincerity though, they love working with entrepreneurs. That's their niche, and it's available for as little as $11 a day. If you don't have an attorney you can trust right now, or you don't have an attorney, I don't think it hurts anybody at all to just check out check them out, do the free consultation. Check them out today at Reeb Law. That's REIB, ReebLaw.com.